Good morning. Oh, I'm just going to jump in today and read the title and the blurb and then share with you a little bit. The title is My First OPPT Courtesy Notice Response. Yesterday, on what would have been Dr. Mary's 95th birthday, I received the first response to the courtesy notices I sent out last Wednesday. The envelope was taped to my front door. Inside was an unsigned notice of impending post-foreclosure eviction from an out-of-area attorney representing PNC Bank. This morning I woke up following another strange dream, and in meditation I used some tools of divination for the first time in many months. This is my subject for today in the ongoing drama of becoming free at last in a world hell-bent on enslaving all of us. I wonder how it will play out. Oh, why did I mention it's Dr. Mary's birthday? Dr. Mary, for those of you that don't know, is the lady that left me half of her estate in her will when she died in 2000. Well, the trust was before 2005, but she died on February the 25th, 2005. But her birthday is March the 5th, 1918, so she would have been 95 years old today. And I believe that she had a part, unbeknownst perhaps to her, of setting me up for the drama that's been ongoing for so long, since 2005, in regard to the trust and my home and everything else. So, I was out raking leaves yesterday morning, and it was late part of the morning, and I happened to look up at the front door, and there was an envelope taped with blue masking tape to the front door right next to my land patent sign. Well, on the land patent sign's on the left side of the door looking at it, and this was taped on the right panel of the door. And I went and I took the envelope down, and I went and I laid it on my car windshield so that I would look at it when I finished raking leaves. And when I opened it up, it was just maybe slightly before noon. I thought, oh my goodness, notice of impending post-foreclosure eviction. It was delivered on 3/5/2013 at 9:43 a.m. I probably went outside a half an hour later. Nobody knocked on my door. Nobody rang my bell. It was just a white envelope with my name, Ronald Van Dyke, written on it in script handwriting. And this was inside. It's not signed. It's from a law firm, Weltman, Weinberg, and Reese Company, LPA, attorneys at law, over 80 years of service, and they have offices in Brooklyn Heights, Chicago, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Detroit, Fort Lauderdale, Grove City, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. PNC Bank headquarters is in Pittsburgh. I think this is an Illuminati law firm, I would suspect. So I didn't know what to make of it. I thought it was interesting that they didn't properly serve it. I thought it was interesting that nobody signed it. I thought it was interesting that it's dated March 1st, which is the very day, what did I do with them? Which is the very day PNC Bank, where is it? PNC Bank received the notice of the courtesy notice. That was the day that they received it. Here's the proof, 3/1, and that was dated 3/1. So they jumped on the courtesy notice immediately, although they didn't try to serve it till yesterday, 5 days later. But of course, there was a weekend in between all of that. I can't say that it surprised me that they didn't just throw in the towel. Although that would have been what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to cease and desist and leave me the hell alone, please. I mean, you've been bugging me for a long time, and you haven't done anything according to your own rules, and yet you keep trying to steal my house from me. Of course, it has nothing to do with the fact that I get on and talk about these things every day now in my 3rd year. It has nothing to do with anything like that, that they would play such hardball with me or try to. I went to bed last night and I started immediately asking for guidance, asking for Spirit to guide me. And through the day yesterday, I was hearing negative voices and positive voices. The positive voices were saying, Ron, it's going to be okay. Just hang in there. It's going to be okay. Okay. And that's a message that I was getting. And then, of course, I was getting the fear messages of, oh my God, they're going to come and they're going to forcibly remove me from my home. Obviously, that's a potential too. Everything is in potentiality at this point. Nothing has happened, and in this moment, I am safe. When I woke up this morning, I laid there for a few minutes pondering the strange dream that I had. And I was, first of all, there was a lady that got up and on a stage and introduced me, including saying that I was a sexy man, which I thought was rather humorous. I don't remember much of what else she said, but I remember her saying that. And then I get on the stage, and there's like this screen, like a glass shield that comes down in front of me, shielding me from the audience. I can still see the audience, but I start cracking jokes on the stage. And I lean out to the right, and I look around the screen, and I say, I still see you. And I'm literally cracking jokes. And I'm waking up, and I'm remembering this scene on the stage of this woman introducing me, and then me getting up there doing almost a stand-up comedy role. And I was laughing, and everybody in the audience was laughing. And it was really interesting. I mean, and then I rolled over and looked at the clock, and it's 1:30. I mean, I didn't go to bed till 10:30 or thereabouts. I mean, I don't know the exact time because I oftentimes put something on so that it distracts my attention and doesn't have my mind working. I'm thinking about something else that, in fact, I think I was listening to Cosmic Claire's video as I fell asleep last night. I don't even know how much of it I heard. I don't remember. But I was cracking jokes, and then I get up and I go into the meditation room after a bit, and I'm sitting there just in silence, and I'm feeling, pick up the divining rods. Well, I have a relationship with the divining rods that hasn't always been so wonderful. They lie to me sometimes. And they, more recently, haven't been answering at all. But I picked them up and held them out in my hands and said, are you with me? And the divining rods instantly go. Am I safe? It didn't answer, is Saint Germain with me? It didn't answer if Jesus was with me. But it did answer yes, that my angels were with me. It didn't answer no on those other things. It just didn't answer. And I don't remember all the questions that I asked. I asked maybe 10 or 12 questions. The only no answer that I got was, will they be able to succeed in taking my house? And the answer I got was no. But as I said, we're going to see what happens. I ponder this divining rod experience, and, you know, pretty happy that they were giving me answers, which hasn't happened the last several times I've attempted to get answers, which was months ago, the last time I checked. Anyway, I decided to go to the Osho Zen Tarot cards, and I thought, how many should I draw? And the answer was 3. And so I drew Innocence first, and they were in order in the book, by the way that I drew them. Innocence was first, And that's about recovering childlike qualities of innocence. Interesting, because that's where I was talking about that last night in the meeting. And of course, that was a major theme in the final day of the Level 2 workshop a weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And I had gotten in touch with that inner child. And the message I was getting from the Tarot book and from the divining rods was, my inner child feels safe. In light of what's happening, that's sort of surprising to me, don't you think? And I drew the card Suppression, and it was upside down. And immediately my thought was, that's not about you. That's about those that are trying to hurt you. They have been suppressing. And it talks about the energy is ready to explode. The suppressed energy is ready to explode. I don't know what that explosion is going to produce, but the feeling was it's not directly related to me, only indirectly related to me in those that are coming after me. And then I drew the card Ordinariness. Well, that's what I want. I want just to be able to live a normal life and not constantly being in the stress of a world trying to fight for freedom. That's what I've always wanted. That's why I've done all of these remedies. Why I've done all this research on becoming sovereign and becoming a free man on the land. And that's why I've gone through all this and why I like the OPPT. I don't care, all you naysayers. You can say what you want. In fact, I got it up here on the screen, an email from a friend named Alan who says, is this a cabal counter to OPPT, Ron? Any thoughts? Question mark. And it's an important announcement by the Quiche Foundation signing the World Peace Treaty and World... that's all it says. It's on WordPress. I didn't open the email. All I'm seeing is the title, and I'm as it's posted on Facebook. I didn't open the link. But anyway, the Quiche Foundation is part of the good stuff from my point of view. He's been trying to work with the powers that were and get them to make peace with the world. And let me tell you something. I want peace. Now, some people say, do you want peace on their terms, on the elite's terms? Well, I want peace on my terms. I want peace. I want to be able to live a life, and I want everybody on the planet to be able to live a life that's no longer stressful. And I'd like to see the Illuminati and the elite come to their senses. I don't know what that's going to take, but come to their senses and start leaving people alone. Stop the human slave trade. Stop this thing of feeding off of negative energy and trying your best to create the negative energy. It's done its job. We've come home. We've remembered who we are. Everybody? No, not everybody. I have, though. I have. Heather has. Lisa has. A whole bunch of people that are connected with OPPT and some that aren't connected with OPPT. We remember. We remember that we're more than just this physical being in this body, this human in this body. We remember that we're connected to a much larger galaxy, to a much larger universe, to a much larger cosmos. We remember that we've always been connected. We remember that we are one with everybody and everything. We remember that. We remember that. So how is it going to play out? How is this courtesy notice stuff? How is this OPPT? How is this Quiche Foundation World Peace Treaty? How is the Ubuntu thing in Africa? That's Michael Tellinger. Is that his name? If that is, man, that's great that his name popped into my head right at that particular time. Because if I was trying to think about it, I probably wouldn't have been able. But that's what name popped up. Maybe it's right. I think it is. But uh, Foster Gamble and the Thrive movement, and all of these movements. What's the other thing in? I forgot the name of that one. The other organization that my friend, oh God, my friend from Australia, Trevor. You know, he's in that, and a whole bunch of people in Australia anyway are in this it's not a foundation, I can't remember what it is, but there's a lot of people that are working toward gaining sovereignty for humanity because it's our birthright, because it's what God, Creator, intended for us all along. But we fell asleep on the wheel. And we forgot. We forgot who we were. So we had to have some really dark role players come along and make stuff really miserable for us so that we could wake up. And I don't know how the thing's going to play out. In this moment, I'm safe. In this moment, I feel safe. Do I still hear voices of doubt and fear? Yeah, I'm human. But I'm more than just human. I'm divine. I'm part of all of it. And this is a drama that we're in. And it's being played out. It's being played out. And we'll see how these attorneys and how PNC Bank and how the court responds or fails to respond. We'll see. It's a game. It's a game that we're playing. And it's the enantiodromia. It's the reverse flow of energy. Everything that's been being taken away is now being given back to we, the people. This is our inheritance. This is our heritage. This is our destiny. This is the kingdom of heaven being manifested on earth. These are the last acts in the drama. Thank you for listening. Namaste.